What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Blank Online here today to chat with you more about some Warzone and some Modern Warfare as well. But before I get any further in this video, if you haven't done so yet and you're part of the 98% of people watching this video right now that haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and do so. It's a big red button down below. Click that, get kept up to date on everything to do with Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty 2020 and more. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Season 4 of Modern Warfare is coming to an end. We're about 2 weeks away from the season being finished, and we're in a bit of a weird period where everyone's sort of bored of Modern Warfare and Warzone at the moment. Nothing new's going on. Everyone's either finished their 155 or getting close to finishing it and completing their battle pass as well. So we're sort of in that period where there's nothing really big to play for, and there's no real hype surrounding the game either, with no new things being added. So there's really nothing to do. So with Season 5 coming really quickly, there's only 2 weeks away. It literally only feels like yesterday that Season 4 was released, but Season 5 is coming very soon. And what I thought I'd do here with this video is go through 5 things that I would like to see from Season 5 of Modern Warfare. There's a couple bits of multiplayer in there, but the main focus here will be Warzone. So what I'll do, I'll go through my 5 things. There are no specific order or anything like that. I just sort of wrote down 5 things, and I'm gonna kind of go through them as I sort of read them on my phone here. But I'm gonna go through the 5 things. I'll let you know what I think and what I want to see in Season 5. Let me know what you think about what I think, if that makes sense. And yeah, let's get into it. So I guess we'll start off with some of the multiplayer stuff. The remastered map that I'd really like to see here for Season 5 of Modern Warfare would be High Rise. We did get a reimagining of High Rise in Advanced Warfare. It was called Sky Rise. It was pretty much the same thing, but like obviously with little bits and pieces that were changed here and there to accommodate sort of like all the jumping shit and whatever. Fucking Advanced Warfare. But yeah, like I'd love to see a proper High Rise just remaster. So like literally exactly what they did with Scrapyard, what they did with Rust, like just do that sort of thing and then just bring High Rise here into Modern Warfare. Obviously they're gonna add doors, they're gonna add safe spaces and different things you can get into which you couldn't get into before. But I guess if they keep the sort of essence of High Rise still there, and they keep sort of that, I guess the way that map flows and the way that map's played back in Modern Warfare 2, I think that'd be really cool. Infinity Ward does a decent job at remastering these old school maps and bringing them over to Modern Warfare. I don't see why they haven't or can't do High Rise. I mean, they already did, as I said, they already did Scrapyard, they did Rust. Like, let's just keep this Modern Warfare 2 train going and chucking in a bit of High Rise into there as well, so we can finally get a proper remaster of High Rise. I know I've said previously that I'm not the biggest fan of them continuously recycling old school maps and re-releasing them as a DLC, but honestly, the way that Modern Warfare is going, they need all the good maps that they can get. So just chuck High Rise into there and just add another good map into the rotational mix of Modern Warfare's multiplayer. The next thing, it kind of coincides with High Rise as well. The next thing I want to see from Season 5 of Modern Warfare's multiplayer would be the Intervention to be one of the weapons that we can get and unlock through the Battle Pass. I know we just got the Rytech AMR. I know last season we got the SKS, but the Intervention is a weapon that we haven't gotten in Call of Duty since Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Not Advanced Warfare, sorry, Infinite Warfare. It was in Infinite Warfare. I think it was either like just a free weapon you could get, or you had to like buy it or unlock it or whatever, but it was there in that game if you were like the 2 people that played Infinite Warfare. But it was there, you could play it, you could use it, but I would like to see it in a game that's at least a bit more populated than Infinite Warfare. So I think an Intervention with High Rise, I think that'd be really cool. Really sort of I guess kicking that nostalgia in for those old school Modern Warfare 2 players who, as you know, as soon as you spawn, you line your sniper up on that right sort of spot on the window and you could get a nice like collateral, triple collat, quad collat, like fucking whatever with your Intervention or Barra 50 cal or whatever sniper you were using, like that sort of spawn killing spot. I remember doing that every single time I was using a sniper on High Rise. Every single time I would line up that shot and see if I got anything, and it was really good time. So I think that Intervention, High Rise, multiplayer, that would be really cool. Let's get into the Warzone stuff, and I guess the stuff that most people really care about. This sort of, it's kind of a Season 4/5 kind of thing, but I would love to see an in-game event kick off Season 5. Just like Fortnite does with pretty much most of their sort of end of season, start of season sort of things where they have a whole storyline and it's sort of leading up to this big event. This big event kicks off the next season of the game. I think what Epic Games and Fortnite do there are really, really cool, and I don't see why they can't do that same thing here with Warzone. There is something brewing in Verdansk. There's something happening in Verdansk. The bunkers, the sort of, what would you call them, like shack things that you could sort of look into, and there's like maps and all this sort of stuff inside there in Verdansk. The train lines, like there's things building up in the map, and at this point in time at least nothing's really happening with them. So I'd love to see an in-game event kick off season 5. There is something in the game files that talk about something to do with a dam live event, and in the main screen of Modern Warfare at least you can see a new look dam, so we could potentially be seeing something happen to dam at the end of this season to kick off season 5. I guess the main thing would be about what and how do you do it. Do you do your in-game event? Well, usually the new updates come out around 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what that translates into in other time zones, and I don't really care either. That sounds so mean. Like, I just don't have the time to look it up is the main thing there. So 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Let's say they started this event at 3 p.m. potentially. Everyone gets in the game, everyone watches the live event, and then as soon as it's 3:59 or whatever, kicks everyone off the game, update comes out. When the update finishes and you can go into the game, bang, there you go, season 5. I think that's the best way for them to do it, for them to do the in-game event literally just before the season ends, before they kick everyone off the servers to update the game. I think that's the perfect time for them to do it, and I don't see why they can't do it either. I think that the thing with Warzone is that when Warzone came out, and I would argue that Warzone was the top battle royale, it sort of lost its sort of steam and it sort of lost its popularity because of Fortnite bringing out their new season and all the cool things they're doing over there, and Warzone not doing too much with season 4. Like, there wasn't really like anything crazy. Like, there was no bunker situation here with season 4. There was nothing like super exciting like that happening with season 4. I think that with an in-game event, and with an in-game event that leads into the next season, that can sort of reinvigorate the Warzone scene, especially across platforms like YouTube and Twitch and that sort of stuff. Warzone is still very, very popular, but I think that it sort of needs to regain its throne. It needs to regain its popularity that it once had back when it first came out, and back when the bunkers were out and all that sort of thing that was really, really exciting. I think that an in-game event can really kick that all off. So I'd really like to see an in-game event start off season 5, obviously leading from season 4 and then leading into season 5. And then as a result of that in-game event, obviously some map and POI changes. We have been playing on the same Warzone map for 2.5 seasons, I think, because Warzone came out like sort of in the middle of season 2, so I'd say like 2.5 seasons now that we've been playing the same thing, same POIs, same buildings, same everything. I think that what Warzone needs is a facelift and a reinvigoration, something to get people more excited, something to get people sort of interested again in the map, because by this time, if you're like a proper Warzone player, everyone knows where they're going, everyone knows where they're landing, what good spots there are to land, buildings, what's in the buildings, how you traverse buildings, all this sort of stuff. Like, everyone who's a Warzone player knows everything to do with Verdansk. Everyone knows final circles, everyone knows how to rotate. I think that with new like map changes, POI changes, different things added into the map to add more variety and more randomness, I guess, to the whole mix there, I think that would add so much more to Warzone again in terms of popularity. It's sort of making people excited to come in and play Warzone once again and sort of rediscover Verdansk. I think that'd be really, really cool. Not necessarily sort of bringing in a whole new map, although the new map was sort of teased in that season 4 cinematic. I think that you could do so much with Verdansk. I don't think that Infinity Ward is going to be finished with Verdansk by the time that we finish up Modern Warfare Warzone. I think that will pick up in a new map for Call of Duty 2020 Warzone, and then continue this original Warzone story with Call of Duty 2021. But for now, with Verdansk, I think that we got to do something, because if we go into season 5 and we have the same exact map for that entire season again, it's just going to be so boring. Like, yes, you're gonna have a new map. Yes, you're gonna have a new season, new battle pass. Yes, you're gonna have a new operator, but we're jumping into the exact same things every single time. To be honest, even if they do the Damn live event and they change Damn, that's nothing, man. Who the fuck lands at Damn? Like, I don't think I ever land at Damn. So I think that what they need to do is they need to change more than just Damn. If they just do Damn and they sort of leave it like that, it's sort of going to be like, yeah, that's cool, you did that, but like there's so much more opportunity for everything else. I think that what Infinity Ward sort of needs to do is they sort of need to look at the hotspots of Warzone and where most people go. I would say you've got obviously like Quarry, and you've got Military Base, and you've got Downtown, and then you got both promenades. I would say those are sort of like your most popular places for people to land in Warzone. So I think that those places, if you do something to sort of shift them around and sort of make people think differently about how they go about landing in those areas, because things have changed, I think that'd be really, really beneficial with the game, sort of evolving the map with the story. And that leads me on to my next point, with actual story progression. I am a sucker for storylines. Like back when Fortnite was in its prime, I remember following the Fortnite story, like when they did the meteors and all that sort of stuff, and the hot rocks and whatever the hell that was. I remember following that. I remember being interested in that. I remember being so hyped when new things would happen in the map to allude to something happening in the story. I'm a sucker for that sort of stuff. When the bunkers came out and we got the nuke and we got all this sort of stuff, like it was super, super exciting and super, super dope, and just it sort of piqued my interest, and it made me think, where are we gonna go next? Literally nothing happened in season 4. They even took the bunkers out. Like nothing happened in season 4 in terms of story. Like we had Captain Price joining the fight at the start, and he was saying all this stuff like we're gonna go fight them people there, but that was pretty much it. So I would love to see some actual story progression, and that sort of ties all my 3 points that had to do with Warzone. So obviously doing your live event, changing things in the map, but having those changes in the map have to do with something in the storyline. I think that that's something that needs to happen regardless of what they choose to do. I think something needs to be progressing here in the storyline of Warzone, because if you think about it, we are 3 months away from Call of Duty 2020 if they choose to release it in October, potentially 4 months if they push it back to November, but we don't have a lot of time left. That gives them maybe 2 or maybe 3 seasons of prime Warzone until we get the new game. So that's 2 to 3 seasons to do a story, to tell it, to flesh it out, and that's not a lot of time, especially at the pace that it seems like they're doing it. I understand that they are looking to support Warzone past its sort of, I guess, its time frame, that being the entire year until the next Call of Duty game comes out. I understand that Infinity Ward is sort of looking to support this game past that, but the problem with that is that once Call of Duty 2020 comes out, no one's going to care about Warzone, or at least no one's really going to care about it in the way that they once did. Sure, they may still play it, but everyone's going to be focused on Call of Duty 2020 and the new game, the new shiny thing, of course. So Infinity Ward sort of needs to pick up their game here in terms of what they're doing in Verdansk and the story that they're trying to tell, because it's really, really interesting. The bits and pieces that we've gotten so far are really, really interesting, and a lot of people are excited to see what happens next. Season 5, just please give us something to do with the story. But that's my 5. I'll go through my 5 really quickly just to sort of recap that. So we've got High Rise Remastered, Intervention as a battle pass weapon. We have an in-game event to kick off season 5, major map and POI changes, and of course some story progression as well. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, comment down below what do you think of my list. Let me know what you want to see in season 5 as well as we move forward into the release of that and the end of season 4. Click subscribe if you haven't done so yet to be kept up to date on everything to do with Call of Duty Warzone, Call of Duty 2020 and more. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.
pull up in the gold, I'm leading. But them other man need feeding. I don't wanna go Bombay. Them I don't know what I do when I go from Beeling. Leading the pack in black and I'm on with the bag. Snapping with a phone and die. Boss up a man with a duster. Put him in the drip and sit blockbuster. Win, 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 that's the only ammo. Ring, 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 I reply with NO. Call me Leno, had it hot.